Welcome to my channel, This and That. My name is Vicki and I'm going to show you how to sew an eyeglass case. So you're going to need a measuring ruler, a yardstick, or a mat with the inches on it. You're going to need something to turn the points out of your eyeglass case. You can use a crochet hook like a number 5 or 6 that has a nice rounded edge so you don't poke a hole through the fabric. A paintbrush end, the handle, a proper point turner. My favorite, the chopstick. A marking device, it could be pen, pencil, chalk. A seam ripper, just in case. Rotary cutters, my favorite, or scissors. Fabric and clips, or straight pins. So for the liner, you're going to need fabric. You can mix and match. You're going to need 7 inches by 9 3/4 inches. And then for the top part, you're going to put the right sides together. Now this top part measures 7 inches by 7.5 inches. Place that on top of there. And some fusible or non-fusible quilting fabric for cushioning your eyeglass case. It could be a couple of pieces of flannel or cotton batting, whatever you can find that's going to cushion your eyeglass case. From the top of that padding, you're going to mark 1 inch down, make a line, and then sew it across. So what I like to do is, because this is kind of thick, I like to put the same kind of fabric, the same thickness, right before I sew on the actual fabric. This way it doesn't jump up or slip out. I call it a spider. So you cut off that spider part. That's the starter piece of fabric that gives you the extra lift. Now we're going to press. So you open up the fabric and you press it. After you iron it, you can see the excess fabric becomes an edge at the edge of the eyeglass case. And press that nicely. So now you have opened it up, and you're going to have this end showing, the inside. And you're going to sew up here, all the way down, leave a 3-inch opening, stop sewing here, and start sewing at the end of the 3-inch opening to the end and down. And that 3-inch opening is where you're going to flip it inside out. So I'm coming down towards the end of that quilting fabric, and I'm using the width of the foot as the size of the seam. When I get to the edge of that quilting fabric, I'm going to keep the needle down into the fabric, lift up the foot, pivot, because you don't want this thickness on a seam. So you're going to go right against the fabric and the quilting, but not on it. That's what that extra fabric was for. And it's good to use these thread snips to snip instead of your good scissors. Now, as you see, it's sewn from this end all the way across. This is the 3-inch opening. It's skipped. but that's going to be the opening. 3 inches to turn it inside out. It's stitched all the way around there on the edge, and you want to trim the corners so it's not bulky. So because the quilting fabric was so thick, I ended up turning it with a ruler to shove it up there and to get it to the corners. So this is the quilted part. This is the liner, which is thin. And you have that 3-inch opening here, so you can press it and then clip it and then top stitch it. Just finishing the top stitch part. Now you're going to tuck the lining in down into the case. Just keep tucking it in. Use any of these devices to tuck it in. Now remember, you're going to have a 1-inch header, and you're going to press it. Both sides. And it should fit snugly your glasses because it's measured that way. There's no reason to have a snap. You wouldn't want to scratch your lenses of your sunglasses or reading glasses. And there is your eyeglass case.